So, one of the most common questions that I've gotten, especially over the last couple months, is Tyler, when are altcoins going to move? I've been holding this chain link or this AVAX or this Polygon, whatever it may be, and it's just not doing too much. When's it finally going to give me some gains? And I've gotten this question literally every single day for months now. And I was like, you know what? Before we head out, I'm going to make a quick video for you all breaking down my exact 4-step system of what I do with my own altcoin portfolio, what things I'm looking at, what things I'm paying attention to. So I always know, are altcoins about to move? Yes or no? If the answer is no, I'm not even worried about them. I'm not paying attention to them. If the answer is yes, then I'm like laser dialed in on altcoins, okay? So I'm going to give you this 4-step system so that hopefully when you leave this video, you have a good idea of what you should be watching as an altcoin investor, okay? So without further ado, let's not waste any time at all. Let's get straight into it. So my 4-step system is extremely simple. I first and foremost look for institutional and whale interest, okay? From there, I'll look for performance rotation. From there, I'll look for retail to enter, and then from there, I exit. It's very, very simple, okay? So let me break down what each and every one of these is. So the very first one is institutional and whale interest. And what I mean by that is oftentimes when these sorts of markets transpire, right, what you're going to notice is that an altcoin market isn't going to just pop off. Altcoins aren't just going to pop off out of nowhere. No, it's going to slowly start to work itself into it, and then it'll happen. What's that quote? A little bit at a time than all at once, basically. That's what an altcoin season looks like. And so what I like to look for are those earliest seeds of what will cause that momentum to start to shift. And in a market like this, when retail doesn't have a lot of money and most people in general are not in profit, what you have to understand is that it's not going to be retail that gets the altcoin market going. It's going to be whales. It's going to be institutions. This is going to be keyed or termed or named one of the biggest, most institutionally impacted crypto cycles ever. Basically, everything we've seen this whole cycle has been because of institutions, not retail. So if you want to know when altcoins are going to start making their moves, watch what institutions are doing. And so one thing that I like to do is I simply just watch every single day or every single week, sorry, what CoinGlass release. So if we actually go out, or sorry, not CoinGlass, my bad, CoinShares. So every week CoinShares comes out and they give us a digital asset fund flows report. And what this basically tells us, okay, where are institutions putting their money? Are they putting it into Bitcoin? Are they putting it into altcoins? Where is their money going? And if I start to notice a big trend in which they're really starting to favor altcoins, then that's an opportunity for me to pay much closer attention to it. For example, if you look at this report that they just released, and this was earlier this week, what you can see is that in the end, the September, October area, coming into October, they were primarily focused on Bitcoin. You see how the majority of these inflows, because the bar's going upwards, you see how these inflows were black? That means they were Bitcoin focused. But as time is going on, you're starting to see more blue and more blue and more blue. You know what this means? It means that they're starting to pay attention to altcoins, and we're actually seeing some inflows into altcoins, into Ethereum, into Solana, which means that the earliest part of this little seed being planted here for an altcoin season, and I keep doing this, by the way, because it's not what you think it is. Altcoin season is just a period in time in which altcoins perform well. Anyway, an altcoin season could be coming. Now, this isn't enough to convince me yet, but it is what I'm paying attention to, okay? So the very first thing that I watch is, are institutions and whales prioritizing altcoins and paying attention to them? Another thing you can do is just go watch some channels. One really good one, Altcoin Buzz, 470K subs, super valid channel. Underappreciated, I would say, in our space, but every single day he's really talking about what is happening in the altcoin market and if whales are paying attention to altcoins. So pay attention to the CoinShares report, pay attention to Altcoin Buzz, and that'll give you a good idea of if the altcoin market is starting to see some traction. Matter of fact, this is actually one of the ways that I do personally also look for altcoins, because if I notice whales buying altcoins, then I will buy some altcoins. You know what I mean? That's actually, matter of fact, funny enough, I'll just talk to you about it now. If you actually go look at the school, just yesterday over in the school, I did pick up a little bit of a crypto called Bot. Now, Bot, and I'm sorry to go on a quick tangent, but I figured you guys would want to know this because I like to share what I'm doing. Anyway, I bought a little bit of a bag of something called Bot because they started getting some whale interest just a couple days ago. I saw 2 big whale wallets buy it, and I was like, okay, what is this? Went on YouTube. There was YouTube videos about those whales buying it, and it was actually super interesting. I know you all know the price of crypto as a whole the last month has absolutely sucked. Not for Bot. Bot is currently at $28 million FDV, or fully diluted valuation, 0.28 cents, $28 million market cap, and up over 200% just in the last month. Matter of fact, if you look at recent performance, it's actually holding up extremely well compared to basically the entire crypto market. Now, the reason they are holding up so well is because they have some really big catalysts going on right now, and they're within the robotics and AI industry. As you all know, the big AI wave is kind of slowing down, and we're starting to see some of that attention that it got shift over to robotics. Like, for example, the NVIDIA CEO said just a few months ago that robotics is chip makers' biggest opportunity after AI. So we're already seeing some of that early momentum shift from AI over to robotics. And so they're capitalizing on that trend by creating a more robotics based protocol here within the world of Web3. And I think it's really good. And I'll tell you guys about it later on. I mean, I hold it now, so I'll keep you guys updated on it. But it's actually super good. They actually, excuse me, guys, it is so cold out here. They already actually have a demo in place for their robotics. It goes into the predictions markets. They have over 347 active predictors. And if you don't know what that means, don't you worry. I'll tell you more about the technical side later on. But they already have an actual product. They already have utility, and they're already getting a ton of interest from whales. And so because of that, I thought it was a no-brainer. They're also on Solana, and you guys know I'm huge on this AI robotics Solana trend. And so when you mix all this stuff together, I'm like, you got whale interest, you got a product, you got utility, you got hype, and your price is performing well. I'm like, yeah, obviously, I'm going to go and I'm going to accumulate a little bit of this. And so I did buy a little bit of that yesterday. It's actually performing really, really well as of now. And I guess time will tell. But that's how, and again, tangent over, that's how I even found bot, because I started seeing that. Then I start hearing news about them in the background. Whales are buying them. Perfect formula, right? And so because of that, that's step number one. You're looking for your institutional and whale interest. Now, this is the important part. Okay, so this is the part that a lot of people try to front run and they struggle with, is the actual performance rotation. So just because we're starting to see altcoins get attention does not mean that they're the best place to be, right? Because truth be told, choice number one, which is be a Bitcoin holder. And then option number two is you're an altcoin holder. And I think it's best to either just hold both simultaneously and just leave them alone, or you need to make sure that you're in the best place with the most gains. And so personally speaking, what I do is I prioritize Bitcoin. I buy crypto every single day. I have a daily dollar cost average that goes in, right? And then I add on top of that. And so what I do is I pick and prioritize the ones that I think are best. So if Bitcoin's the best at this moment, I buy Bitcoin. If altcoins are best at the moment, I buy altcoins. And so what I like to look for before I start heavy shifting into altcoins is those early, I suppose, those early signals that we are seeing the altcoin market start outperforming Bitcoin. Because what I don't want to do is be accumulating a whole bunch of altcoins while Bitcoin is clearly the best thing to be buying and it's risk-free, basically, because I don't really think Bitcoin's a big risk at all macro. And so why would I be buying a bunch of altcoins if I could just buy Bitcoin and it's going to perform better than altcoins, right? No, I only want to buy altcoins when I have the best chance and the highest perceived likelihood of success. And so the step number two that I look for is the performance rotation. Now, the easiest way to look for performance rotation is go to your trading view, go over to Bitcoin dominance, okay? Bitcoin dominance is going to tell you everything you need to know. If you don't know what Bitcoin dominance is the ratio of the total market cap owned from Bitcoin and altcoins. If you don't understand what that means, for example, let's say the total market cap of crypto is $100 million and Bitcoin's market cap is $50 million and altcoin market cap is $50 million. Bitcoin dominance is 50% because Bitcoin controls 50% of the market. Now, let's say, for example, the altcoin market, or no, let's say the crypto market goes up to $200 million. And as it pumps to $200 million, Bitcoin goes up to $150 million worth of market cap and altcoins stay at 50 million. Well, guess what? Now Bitcoin dominance is going to be, I believe, 75% because Bitcoin at this point is now in control of 75% of the market. So Bitcoin dominance gives you a clear picture of what is performing best. Is Bitcoin taking more control of the market or less control of the market? And what I like to look for are those instances and moments in which Bitcoin is losing control of the market and altcoins are outperforming, because that's my trigger to start really paying attention to alts and start more heavily dollar cost averaging into them. And so what I'll do is I'll look for moments that look just like this, in which Bitcoin dominance is showing signs of weakness, because when these signs of weakness happen, altcoins usually will have these moments where they start to perform really well. And so the first thing, again, that I'll look for is, are institutions and wealth paying attention? And now, are they paying attention enough to start shifting the performative data from Bitcoins to altcoins? And if the answer is yes, this is when I'll really start buying and paying attention to altcoins. And we are kind of getting towards a period like that now, but it's not there yet. Bitcoin dominance is still trending upwards, but it is showing weakness here. And so I feel like we could be teetering on the edge of it. Only time will tell, though. So now, once I have that down, and I'm like, okay, boom, we're in a spot to where the altcoin market, again, excuse me, guys, it's literally 35 degrees out here. Now that we know that the altcoin market is starting to outperform Bitcoin, then I know what comes next. Because when the altcoin market starts to outperform Bitcoin, that's when the institutions are really going to dial in. They're going to cause a whole bunch of FOMO, volatility is going to pick up, and then retail's coming back. Like the normal everyday person's going to come back, and that's when you're going to start to see prices really take off and really start gaining momentum. But you have to understand that you're already like at the end of the run. Like you're already like 50% through it, right? So, for example, institutions institutions will jump in. They'll start planting the seeds. Altcoins will start slowly picking up. Then you'll start to see performative rotation happening. Boom. And they start to pick up even more. And then when retail jumps in, they take off. And that doesn't last very long. And so in this moment, you have to be paying attention. And the easiest way to do that, guys, is go to Google Trends. Go here, type in just the word crypto. Go to web search, go to YouTube search. And then go out here and go to like past 30 days and see what's happening. If this thing is shooting straight up, it is, just understand where you're at. You're in a period of euphoria. A lot of money's going to be going around. Everyone's going to be getting a whole bunch of profits going on. And that's the point where I'll start to make my exit. So I was buying previously, boom. I was buying whenever, I was buying a little bit when the whales and institutions were. I was buying a little bit more whenever we were starting to see these the performance data start to kind of show that altcoins were starting to gain momentum. Then when that performative data starts to break down, I'm in. Like I'm in. And then once we see retail absolutely jump in, and then all those cryptos really take off, and you get like a 5x or a 10x, boom. That's when you get out. That's when you take your profit and you get out, because retail never wins. They like almost never win. You're going to have like 2 months to get out, and you get out. Okay. And so that's the way that I play it. And so I know maybe that was, hopefully this was kind of like a clear explanation, but that is usually the way I play it. I usually do some small to medium purchases in here. I'll do some bigger purchases in here. Once I see Bitcoin really breaking down compared to altcoins, boom, I'm in. Once retail jumps in, we have like a month or 2 months where things should be in a pretty good spot, and then I'm getting out. I'm slowly exiting, and then I'm quickly exiting towards the end of that, fully getting rid of my, like most of my altcoin backs. That's just the game that I play here in this market, okay? So instead of every day just kind of staring at your altcoin charts, being like, man, when's this gonna go? Like you're watching popcorn pop in a microwave, what you could do is you could be watching, of course, the data that'll tell you when it's most likely to happen, so you can be prepared for it and positioned for it, okay? So let me know if this video makes sense. I know it may have been a little bit different and confusing. Also, my hands are numb, so that may have stopped me from explaining well, but I hope this was helpful. So if it was helpful, let me know in the comments down below. And guys, I don't want you to forget, remember, all of the things that I'm buying, saying, doing, whatever, is all posted in the school every single day. Guys, the school is, in my opinion, the #1 educational platform in all of crypto. We have courses, workshops, live streams, daily and weekly events. You can see what I'm doing, what I'm buying. We have coaches in there who are trading every day. And look, look at the community. The community speaks for itself. Just look at this for a second. This is just since yesterday. In a market like this, where can you find a community printing gains like this? You really can't. You really can't. And these aren't small gains. These are big gains, right? So I think that kind of speaks for itself. So I will leave the link down below. Every single day, I do get a discount code that I give all to you. And it's simply today's the 25th, OCT25. So go to the link down below, type in OCT25 at checkout, and you're going to get a discount. I believe it's either 20% or 15%, but one way or another, that's a great discount. So check the link down below. I only get one. So whoever signs up with it first gets it. So check out the link down below. And again, let me know what you think. But overall, of course, I hope you guys are having a fantastic start to your weekend. Use this stuff whenever you're checking out your altcoin portfolios, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everybody.